Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into the absolute maze that is the local and federal court system. Whether you're trying to figure out your civic duties as a juror, or you're just trying to handle some routine court business, really understanding how the process works can completely change your experience. So, we're going to walk through the exact steps you need to take to not just survive, but truly thrive in the court system with absolute confidence. Let's get into it. You know the feeling, right? You go to the mailbox, flip through the letters, and bam, there it is. That very official-looking envelope from the court. For a lot of us, that instantly triggers a massive wave of anxiety. You start wondering about your job, your schedule, or honestly, just what you're actually supposed to do next. Well, take a deep breath. In this explainer, I'm going to give you a clear, step-by-step guide to exactly what that summons means and how you can handle it without the stress. To put things into perspective for a second, you are stepping into a machine of massive scale. Just look at the 3rd Judicial Circuit Court in Wayne County, Michigan. It is the largest in the entire state. We're talking 59 judges across 3 operating divisions. And in 2024 alone, they collectively handled over 59,000 cases. 59,000. So your participation? It's a vital piece of a huge puzzle that literally keeps our society running smoothly. Section 1. Answering the call, step-by-step instructions. Let's get right into the logistics of what you need to do the exact moment you open that envelope. First things first, actually read the summons to find your exact reporting location. Courts have multiple buildings, and trust me, you do not want to end up at the wrong one. Then, the night before your date, make sure you call the info line after 5 p.m. just to see if your group is actually needed. Sometimes you're off the hook. Finally, you'll log into the court's online system, like eResponse or eJuror, to fill out your questionnaire. And a quick pro tip here for federal courts, like the Eastern District of Michigan's eJuror system, you're gonna need to enter the first 3 letters of your last name along with your participant number to log in. But hey, before you pack your bags for court, let's make sure you actually qualify to serve in the first place. You've got to be a U.S. citizen, 18 years or older, and conversant in English. You also can't have any felony convictions on your record. But the really crucial point here is residency. You must be a resident of the county that summoned you. If you recently moved and don't live in that county anymore, you need to provide an updated copy of your driver's license or state ID to the court so you can be officially excused. Section 2, Rules of the Courthouse, What to Expect on Arrival. Assuming you are eligible, check-in is bright and early, usually right around 8 a.m. So let's prepare for the environment you're walking into. As you might guess, security is incredibly strict. Everyone passes through metal detectors, and purses and briefcases are subject to search. So leave the mace, the scissors, and yes, even your knitting needles at home. There is no way you're catching up on a sweater in the jury box. Furthermore, your phone must be entirely off, not just on vibrate, completely silent, and powered down the entire time you're in the courtroom. Your appearance as a juror is also strictly regulated because it reflects the seriousness of the whole proceeding. Standard business casual attire is your best bet. What's explicitly prohibited? Shorts, halter tops, sweatsuits, camouflage, and swimsuits. Hats and hoods must be taken off too. Now, what might actually surprise you is the rule regarding law enforcement and first responders. They are explicitly forbidden from wearing their uniforms when reporting for jury service. It's all about making sure everyone sits in that jury box as an equal citizen. So, what will you actually be doing all day? Well, there are 2 basic types of cases you might get assigned to. In a criminal case, you're deciding if an accused person is guilty or not guilty. The prosecution has to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, and your jury must reach a 12-0 completely unanimous verdict. It's high stakes. On the other hand, a civil case is a disagreement between parties where you're answering questions about disputed facts. In those civil trials, only 5 out of 6 jurors actually have to agree on the verdict. Section 3. Compensation and exemptions, your time and money. Let's shift gears over to the practical, financial side of this experience and the specific rules for getting excused or delaying your service. The million-dollar question. Do I get paid? Yes, you do. But definitely don't plan a vacation with it. You're looking at $15 for a half day and $30 for a full day on your very first day of service. If you end up serving additional days, that bumps up just a little bit to $22.50 for a half day and $45 for a full day. You're also paid for round-trip mileage, calculated right from your address, at a rate of 20 cents per mile just to help cover the gas. Now, if you literally cannot serve right now, courts do offer valid exemptions. Anyone 70 or older can step away just by asking. Dealing with a medical condition or currently nursing, you can definitely be excused. You're just going to need some documentation from a medical professional. And for the college students out there, you aren't off the hook forever, but you can usually defer your service until summer break or that little window between semesters.
Section 4. Navigating court services, fines, filings, and holidays. Let's broaden our view for a second. What if you aren't a juror, but you just need to handle some general business with the court, like paying a ticket or filing paperwork?
If you need to pay a local court fine, say at the 29th District Court in Wayne, Michigan, you've got options. You can use their online portal, a 24/7 lobby kiosk, an after-hours drop box, or just pay in person. But here is the catch. Leave your Apple Pay behind. Actually, scratch that tap-to-pay idea entirely. They do not accept it right now. Plus, any physical credit or debit card you use absolutely must have your name printed on it. If the cardholder's name doesn't match, they just won't accept it. And before you make the drive to the courthouse for any reason, you absolutely have to check the calendar. Courts observe a really wide range of state and federal holidays, from MLK Day all the way to Juneteenth. Just as an example, in 2026 for that 29th District Court, Independence Day is observed on Friday, July 3rd. That means the doors will be locked tight. Always verify their calendar online before you make the trip. Taking this all the way up to the federal level, like the United States Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit out in Philadelphia, you'll find some great systems in place for late filings. After-hours submissions can be securely left in the district court's file box right on the first floor of the courthouse. There's a timestamp device sitting right there on the box, so your items will be officially filed as of the exact date stamped. They even have an emergency email procedure set up for non-registered filers dealing with urgent after-hours motions. Section 5, protecting yourself from scams, a critical warning. We're going to wrap this up with something absolutely crucial. As more and more court business goes remote, there's a major danger out there, and you really need to be aware of it. Courts across all sorts of jurisdictions from the Third Circuit down to Oakland County are desperately warning residents about jury duty scams. Scammers are actually calling people up, pretending to be from the jury office, and aggressively demanding payment or sensitive info. I want to read this exact quote directly from the courts. Our staff would never call you to ask for social security numbers, credit card numbers, or prepaid card numbers. If you ever get a call from someone demanding payment or threatening you with jail time for missing jury duty, it is 100% a scam. Hang up immediately. The court only communicates via official mail. By understanding these rules, the valid exemptions, and those critical scam warnings, you are fully prepared to navigate the system. But it leaves us with one really big, provocative question. How does this massive, intricate machine of justice even survive when so much of it relies on everyday citizens simply answering the call? Think about that. Then next time you see that official envelope in your mailbox, remember, you aren't just an attendee. You are quite literally a foundational pillar of the entire justice system. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.